This is the Movo Nano Mic, and this is the 3.5mm version. There are three versions available: the 3.5mm, the USB-C version, and the Lightning version. They are all three separate versions. Now, this one, the 3.5mm version, costs just under $70 US. So if you decide to pick it up, that's what's going to set you back. And I do have the affiliate links down in the description in case you're interested. Okay, so this is not really an unboxing, but I will show you everything that comes in the box. But mainly, I will show you my impressions of this device. I'm going to show you a sound test, what it sounds like, and go over the features that I found and give you my thoughts on whether or not it's worth it and whether or not it is a good value at the price that you get. All right. So again, this is the device as it comes out of the box. I already unboxed it, of course. And basically what you get is the USB-C cable. This is a rather short USB-C cable, and it's a USB-C to USB-A. You have this 3.5mm cable that's meant to be connected to cameras like DSLRs or mirrorless cameras, or really any other device that supports a 3.5mm input except for phones. If you want to connect to a phone, you have two options. Now, the first option is that you have to get separately a 3.5mm cable that supports TRRS. So this type of connector, you can see it compared to this one, it has an extra ring. Okay, this is the side that you need to connect it to a smartphone that has a headset input jack. Okay, so again, well, as it comes, it is meant to be connected into whether it's audio recorders or DSLR or mirrorless cameras. Now, you might have noticed by now that I have it connected to a USB-C here, and that it has the LEDs blinking. This is because this version also supports data connectivity via a USB-C cable. So right now I have it connected to my computer because, like I mentioned at the beginning, I am going to make a sound test of the microphone right in this video without doing too much cuts. And I'm going to show you again all the features that it has. So again, it is meant to be plugged into a camera mainly with the included 3.5mm cable, and the clip right here, as you can see, is just wide enough for it to go into the hot shoe of your camera. So very convenient in that regard. You just clip it in the hot shoe or cold shoe of your camera, and then you extend the 3.5mm cable from the receiver into the mic port of your camera. So that's really nice. But again, very versatile in my opinion, because you can connect it via USB-C to any device that supports USB-C, and that includes smartphones. So you have a USB-C to USB-C cable, so not this one, but an additional USB-C to USB-C cable that you do have to provide by yourself. Then you will be able to connect it to any device, any computer, or any smartphone with a USB-C jack. If your computer has a USB-A port, then yes, you can use this included cable. Okay, so it's worth mentioning. Now, as you can see, it has a charging case that it already comes with this cover, which is really nice. This is I don't think it's leather. It kind of feels like leather, but I'm not sure. I don't think it's leather really, but it does have this locking mechanism here, a locking button, so it's not gonna fall out. And it has a carabiner, as you can see, so you can, keep it on your backpack or your camera's carrying bag or whatever. So that's really, really nice. Again, right out of the box, it comes with this. If for any reason you don't like it, then you can just, slip it out of the cover, and you have it as such. You have the USB-C charging port here, and again, it has the opening here in the cover, so it's not like you need to take it off in order to charge it. I intend to keep it like this full time. All right, so as you can see, it even has a cutout here for the LED indicating the battery level, and when you're charging, then it blinks green. Okay, once it's done charging, it stays I don't remember if it shuts off. I think it shuts off. Okay, anyway, I think this turned off because I wasn't using it, so I'm just gonna turn it on. But again, I just hold the power button for a second, and there we go, it's blinking again, as you can see. So after, I think it's 10 minutes of inactivity, it turns off. Okay, that applies to the transmitters or the microphones as well. Now on this side, you have two buttons. I think, yeah, you have two buttons. This is the power button right here, and this is the gain button right here, which nothing happens if I press it right now because no microphone is connected. So I'm going to show you that in just a second after I connect the microphones. Okay. On the other side, you have the 3.5mm out jacking. I think I can show you. Yeah, I think you can kind of see it right there. So this is the out port for the 3.5mm cable that goes into your camera, and again the USB-C for charging the receiver, or for connecting it to a computer or smartphone like I have right now. It's connected to my Mac. Okay, so let's get to the main event, or the main item. Look at how tiny these are. This is basically like an inch tall or something, just over an inch. Let's see, maybe it's easier to see right here or right here. Okay, just over an inch, as you can see, and pretty much half an inch thick. Okay, and of course it comes with two. Now, as you can see, when I took them out of the case, they connected to the receiver. If I put one back into the case, then the receiver is going to start blinking on the second LED, or simply turn it off. It's off because it has one connected. So if I put both back into the charging case, and as you can see, as soon as I put them in the case, they start charging, they turn off, and then the receiver is waiting again for a connection. So I don't know if it remembers which channel is which. No, the first one that you take out will be the first channel here. Then the second one is going to be the second LED, and so on and so forth. So really there's no difference between which is the first one or which is the second one, just a matter of which one you take out first. Now it's worth mentioning at this point that these have a combined channels in the recording, meaning that you do not have stereo sound, you have mono sound. So whatever the microphones pick up, either together or separately, is going to go into a single mono channel. So it's worth mentioning, because if you intend to record two people with this microphone, then you're not going to be able to adjust the levels of each microphone independently. They're going to have the same volume, or not the same volume, they're going to have mixed audio in the recording. Okay, so that's worth mentioning. If having separate channels for each microphone is important to you, then I'm afraid you're going to have to look for another solution. But I think it's worth mentioning that most microphones that support more than one transmitter have this. Okay, they don't usually have more than one channel. Okay, so there's that. I don't want to digress much. Let's go over the microphone itself. So again, it's called a NanoMic because it's so tiny. And again, just over an inch tall. Maybe kind of align it here a bit more in the center, maybe. Okay, so just over an inch, like almost an inch and a half, I would say an inch and a quarter maybe, but half an inch wide. And if you see it from this side, then again it's also half an inch wide, but it does have the additional clip right here. Now this clip, I like to mention that it is it's a metal clip, and this is important because this is the first caveat. I want to say caveat, but not really a caveat. But it's a good thing that it's metal, but it's also a little bit of a bummer, because for the price, I really wish that this had included a magnet that you can use to stick this to your clothes. Okay, I mean, the clip is good, it's very strong, it's very secure, and you can, you know, put it like on a shirt like I have right here, and I'm going to be wearing it here for my test. But I think that the best way to use this microphone is with a magnet, because, for example, if you get one of these like neodymium magnets, which are really strong, by the way, then you could use this to tuck your shirt or tuck the magnet under your shirt, and then have the microphone, floating anywhere you want. Okay, you can position it anywhere you want using a magnet. Now the good thing is that these magnets are very, very inexpensive, so you can buy a set of like 50 of these for I don't know, like under $10, maybe even cheaper. Okay, if you get the round ones, I have seen the round ones go under $5 or something like that. So prices vary, of course, but yeah, I would recommend that if you get this microphone, then definitely get a neodymium magnets, so that you can use it and have more versatility in terms of where you can position it in your clothes. Okay. Now the metal here itself is not magnetic, so it's not like you're going to be able to hold a magnet on a metal surface. It won't work. This part is not magnetic, but it is metal. So again, you can use it with a neodymium magnet like this, and with this magnet, then you can place it on a metallic surface if your use case would happen to, need that. Okay, so it's just worth mentioning. Now let's see what else. This is basically what you get in the box. The receiver has some extra features that I'm going to show you in just a second, and that has to do with how you use the buttons. Another thing worth mentioning is like I mentioned, the two microphones combine into a single channel, and that's also important because when you activate the noise reduction, which is done by just pressing this little button that you see right here, the normal operation is with the noise reduction off, and the LED, I think you can see it right here, is color blue. But when you press once the noise reduction button, you can see in the receiver it turned green, and also in the microphone itself it's going to turn green. And the one thing that I wanted to mention is that the other microphone is also going to activate the noise reduction. So I had pressed the button on this one, I'm going to press it on this one, and as you can see, both microphones as well as the receiver are indicating that the noise reduction is off. When the noise reduction is on, you can press the noise reduction button right here. Actually, no, the power button. You press the power button once, and it's going to show you what, or well, it's not going to show you. It will show you, but what I'm trying to say is that it will let you set how aggressive the noise reduction level is. By default, it's grade 3, as the manual says. Basically, what it says is the strongest noise reduction. So you press it once, it's going to blink only once. That means that this is grade 1 of the noise reduction. In other words, the lowest level of the noise reduction. You press it again, it's going to blink twice. So it's the medium noise reduction, and then press it again. It's going to blink 3 times. So it's the strongest level of noise reduction, and this is the default. Okay. So I'm just going to remove the noise reduction because I'm going to get ready to show you what the microphone sounds like, which is probably the moment you've been waiting for. Now I'm going to put this aside. You may have noticed that I turned it off because I don't want it to record my voice at 2 different distances because it's going to sound weird. So this is the one that it's on, and as you can see, the receiver indicates as such. Okay. So I'm going to just clip it on my shirt, and I'm going to try to leave it visible here in camera. So yeah, I think that's fine. And this is pretty much the most appropriate level for, or the most appropriate area for any of these types of microphone at the chest level. This is where you should position your microphone, your lavalier microphones, whether it's wireless, whether it's a cabled lavalier microphone. It should be somewhere here on your chest area, not holding on your hand. Please don't hold in your hand. It doesn't make it sound good. It makes it sound worse. I don't know why it's a trend and people do that, but please don't do that. Anyway, I digress. Again, this is the best position for this type of microphone. And now you're listening to the sound of the Movo Nano Mic. So you might have noticed by now that I am wearing a different shirt. And there's a reason for that, very important reason. When I was editing the video, I noticed that, well, I actually discovered something very important, and that is that the placement, which I already mentioned, you should be placing this on your chest, but the position of this is also very, very important, because this is, I don't think this is an omnidirectional mic, meaning that it captures sound all around. It kind of does, but it's a little bit more of a directional microphone, meaning that the direction in which the microphone is pointing is going to be very important. And you might have noticed that I was wearing a polo shirt and I was using the clip to clip on into the shirt, into the neck of the shirt, and so it was pointing sideways. And this means that it was kind of pointing to a direction that was perpendicular to the sound source, or in this case my mouth. And I noticed in the editing process that that made the microphone sound a little bit muddy. Now, I was raving in the video about how good I thought the microphone's quality is, and it didn't really coincide. It really didn't match what I was saying with the actual quality that I was hearing. So I decided to just go ahead and toss that part of the video and just do it all over, because I really do want to do an accurate representation of what the quality of the microphone, well, the quality of the sound of this microphone is what I'm trying to say. So I guess it was worth it to do it over again, especially because I'm trying to deliver value to you guys. So hopefully this is really going to be a helpful video. So now, having said that, I'm going to go over all the features and everything that I like about this microphone. So when Mobo reached out about sending this microphone, and I asked them to send me the 3.5mm version because I was really interested in using this with my camera. However, I was, because I did mention that there are 3 versions. One is the 3.5mm version, or I'm talking about the receiver. Another one is the USB-C version, another one is the Lightning version. I was really hoping that the 3.5mm version would also support USB data connection, and that is the case. Like I said, you are listening to the sound of this microphone, and I am using it through a USB-C connection. It is connected to my computer. So right off the bat, I would say that the 3.5mm version is the one to get. This is the most versatile one, and you can even use it with your iPhone if you use you know, a USB-C or USB-A to Lightning adapter, such as this one, or this other one that I have right here. And these two come together, in case you're wondering. So you could use this to connect to your iPhone 14 or older. And if you have an iPhone 15 or newer, then you can just use a USB-C to USB-C cable. Of course, you will have to add your own because the one included is USB-C to USB-A. Okay, so what I'm trying to get at is that the receiver supports both 3.5mm as well as USB-C. So if you are interested in using the USB-C version, I would say spend the extra couple of bucks and get this one, right? I really strongly suggest that you get this one. Now, the receiver has the clip right here, and this clip has the exact width of a hot shoe. Do I have a camera here? Yeah, I have my camera here, my DSLR, or mirrorless rather, and as you can see, the clip can simply go like this, and it's a perfect fit. Okay, so this is how it's intended to go on your camera. Okay. Alrighty, so in terms of the sound quality, like I was saying, my expectations were exceeded. I didn't expect this microphone being so tiny to sound this good. And also for the price, I think that it has an excellent sound. All right. It is super, super lightweight. I don't have the scale with me, but I think it's under 5 grams or so. Maybe it's a little bit over 5 grams because this little piece right here is metal, but it's still super, super tiny. As you can see in my shirt, it really does not weigh it down almost at all. And the only thing that is weighing it down right now is the neodymium magnet that I showed you earlier, that I'm using it with my shirt like this. So things that I would ask Movo to improve on this system is the added value in terms of accessories. I really wish that it included a magnet like this one. I know that these magnets are very inexpensive. You can buy, like I said, a set of like 40 or 50 pieces of magnets for under $6 or so. So it really couldn't hurt if Movo included this in the box. Okay, so also because, like I said, the placement or the direction of the microphone is really important. So having a magnet to be able to just place the microphone in the correct position, the best position possible, would be ideal. Okay, so it is what it is. And now we're going to do a noise reduction demo, because this microphone does support noise reduction. And you do that by pressing this button right here. So I'm going to start an ambient noise, just to kind of demo how well the microphone picks up my noise, my voice versus the ambient noise. So I'm going to start cafe ambient noise, and it's pretty loud. So right now you're listening to my voice being picked up in a noisy environment. Okay, so just as a reference, I'm pointing my studio microphone to the speakers so that you can sort of gauge how loud the voice is, actually how loud the noise is. So yeah, you're listening to my voice in a noisy environment, and I'm going to engage the noise reduction, and you will see that the LED in the receiver is going to turn green. So I'm going to press it right now. And there you go, it's green. And you should notice quite a bit of a difference in terms of the noise reduction. Now, this is the default level of noise reduction, which is the level 3, the strongest one. And if you press the power button, it's going to change the amount of noise reduction. So 3 being the strongest one and the default one. So if I press it again, now it's at the lowest, or level 1 noise reduction. So you can notice that even though my voice is still pretty, you can listen to my voice pretty well, there's a lot more ambient noise. So I'm going to press it again for the medium. Okay, and it blinks twice. It will blink once for level 1, twice for level 2, and 3 times for level 3. So this is the medium level of noise reduction, and I'm going to press it again. It blinked 3 times, and this is the maximum level of noise reduction, the default one. Whichever level you set, it is going to remember that level when you turn the receiver off, whether you do it manually or you put it inside the charging case. It's going to remember that level of noise reduction, so that's good. Okay, so I'm going to turn off. Oops, that was actually the level of noise reduction. I'm going to leave it at the strongest one, and I was supposed to press the one on the receiver, and now it's blue, meaning that the noise reduction is off. All right, so I'm going to turn on the second transmitter, and I'm going to place it even closer to the speaker so that it can pick up even more of this ambient noise, so that you can see how effective the noise reduction is, and so that you can also set your expectations, because it's not going to be perfect. And of course, the more noise there is around, the more difficult it's going to be, and thus the more processed the voice is going to sound. So I'm just going to turn it on by holding it on, and the LED is now on. I don't know if you can see it. Probably, yeah, there it is. And anyway, you also see that the second LED light turns on. So there's some handling noise because I'm moving it around. I'm going to place it somewhat close to the speaker, and again I'm going to turn on the ambient noise. Okay, so that's even louder than before, and I'm going to turn on noise reduction. The LEDs are green, and this time it's having a much harder time of reducing that ambient noise because the other receiver is very close to the speaker, or to the source of all the extra noise. So again, this is the strongest level of noise reduction. Blinked once. This is the lowest level of noise reduction. This is the medium level of noise reduction. And this is the strongest level of noise reduction, which is the default again. And again, it will remember whichever level you set after you turn off the receiver. Okay, so I'm going to turn off the second microphone. The LED turned off, meaning that it's now only on the transmitter that I'm using right now, or the microphone that I'm using right now. I'm going to turn off noise reduction. So now these are blue. And I don't know if you noticed, but when the second microphone is on, I'm going to turn it on again. Whichever microphone that I click the button is going to activate noise reduction for everything. Okay, so you're going to see that both LEDs are going to turn green. So as you can see, it activates the noise reduction on both. That's why I left the second microphone close to the speakers, because it was also activating the noise reduction on the second microphone as well. Okay, so I'm just gonna turn it off, and it retains the noise reduction because I didn't just click it once, and I'm gonna do it right now. And it's blue again, meaning that the noise reduction is off. Okay, another thing that I like to mention is that the receiver, I think you can see right here, I'm trying to get it as close as possible. There's a second button right here. This is the power button, and this is the volume or gain button. And when you press it once, it's going to show you this the level of gain with 3 LEDs that it has right here. So I press it once, and as you can see, it shows 3 LEDs. And if you let it for a while, they turn off. So if you want to change the setting, you first have to turn it on, or press it once, and then it will show you the level it is, and you want to change it, you press it again, and now it's at the lowest gain. Okay, so again, every time you want to change the gain, you press it once to show the current level, and then you press it again to change it, and you can just keep on pressing it as many times as you need to in order to change the desired level. So this is the medium gain, and right now I'm just talking on the medium gain, and I'm going to let it turn off. So again, if I want to change it to the maximum gain, I'm just going to press it first, and then press it again, and now it's at the maximum gain. And this is the default one, and this is the one that I currently use. And worth mentioning that whatever gain level you set it at, when you turn the receiver off, it's going to remember that gain, just as with the noise reduction, it's going to remember the level of noise reduction. All right, so that's good to know. As you can see, press it again, then it's going to show me the last setting that I had it on. Okay, so yeah, and then the final feature of this receiver, and I don't know who needs this, but it is a voice changer. So you do that by double pressing the power button, and the first one is going to blink once, and it's going to change it into the deep male voice.
So you see that it blinked once, and now my voice is ultra deep. And don't get excited, that's not my normal voice. But if I press it again, double press it again, it's going to change it into a female voice, allegedly.
And it blinked twice, and now you are listening to a sexy female voice. No, actually it sounds more like a squirrel, in my opinion anyway. But yeah, and if you want to change it back to normal again, you double press it again.
And it blinks 3 times, and then it is back to my normal and pleasant voice. So I don't know who needs this, but if you do, then it's there. And again, this setting is not going to remember, or the transmitter is not, the receiver is not going to remember this setting when you turn it off, because you might want to do it just for fun, but not necessarily, you don't necessarily want the microphone to remember this setting. So every time you turn it off or you put it in the charging case, it's going to reset, and it's going to default to the normal setting of the microphone. So it's not going to change your voice. That's what I'm trying to say. Right, so these are all the features with the Movo NanoMic. Again, it exceeded my expectations in terms of the sound quality, but I do wish that it included more accessories in the box, like an extra magnet. Well, not an extra magnet, a magnet, because it doesn't have any. That it would include a magnet, and it would include no, basically just a magnet is what I'm missing from this set, honestly. But again, you can buy your own. They're not really expensive, but for the same reason, I guess, I really do wish that Movo had included them, because I think that they are really necessary, especially in order for you to be able to just set the position of the microphone in the best possible way. All right, so I really hope that this video has been helpful. Hopefully I went over all of the features that this microphone has. I really think it's a pretty good set for the price, and especially with the sound quality of this microphone. So yeah, I hope to see you in the next one, and until then, may God bless you all.